Headphones on.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juice, man.
We did it again. We took it. Well, it was only a week off.
I mean, we're fishing a tournament, guys.
I tried. I really did. I said, hey, man, we can go live. I got a GoPro. It links. It's got a media mod on it.
He said he's going to bring the mics. He didn't bring the mics.
I brought the media mod GoPro, man.
No mics.
Look at this. I don't want to take this beautiful setup down. We've gotten a lot of compliments on our setup, which which is kind of funny. Like, if you actually looked around, not dogging Captain Ron Studios here, but it's all about perception, right?
Well, all that matters is we got our little juiced up corner.
Yeah. My wife, Callie, said she's supposed to make us a acrylic sign, but
we actually got a compliment from Jamie Bruce.
Yeah.
Who runs a podcast with is it Brad Luther? How do you say his last name?
Man, don't get me started.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ran into those guys at Eufaula.
Mm-hmm. Really cool guys.
They got a cool podcast that it goes kind of underneath Straycast is how it works.
Okay. Yeah, Jamie Bruce.
The Great Wide Opens.
And Brad.
Is what it's called.
Those are really cool dudes. They're really cool to hang out with. Really cool guys.
Hammers.
Yeah, very good fishermen.
What is up with that? Why and I were talking about this while we were up there, like, so these dudes come from the north, right? And they get to fish like 4 months out of the year, unless they come down, because everything's all iced over. And these northern dudes,
yeah, they're for real. Well,
can catch them.
The couple of guys, yeah, they are. They're for real. Jamie,
dude that won it, Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
Is that where he's from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Adam Rasmussen.
Very good angler. Obviously, he's already won an open, already qualified for the Classic, and now he won that national event. Really good fisherman as well. And Jamie was in the lead after day one, actually. So,
yep,
man, yeah, it was a really cool event over there for the BASS Nation National Qualifier #1 at Lake Eufaula that we decided to go participate in, and thankfully we both came out with good finishes and gonna make the national championship on Grand Lake.
Which isn't announced yet, but it was kind of like...
It was announced, at the tournament pretty much.
Yeah, it's not up on their site or something like that. But anyway, the nation format's super interesting. It's probably the last true grassroots avenue into the Classic or Elites or Opens. And so this year they changed it up. Traditionally, it was kind of a little... complicated. I don't know if complicated. It's just a lot of steps.
It was confusing for me. That's why I never did it.
Yeah, I did it one year, several years ago. Chris Dabaradino, Dirty Nicky, he convinced me to fish a team series, which they have individual. Like if you're part of a bass club, you either have individual tournaments, and then they have team events throughout a region of the state, and then so you have to do well in your club. And then you qualify for state.
Or regionals,
then state.
Then state, probably.
Then another step of regional championship.
Man, I really
go
don't
to the
know.
Nationals. Like, it was a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of these were like $80 entry fees, like super low entry fee tournaments, you know. Again, really focused on getting your grassroots dudes in.
Mm-hmm.
This year, Bass announced a new format called the National Qualifiers. And it's 4 events. And I think it's 1 in each region.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one was on Lake Eufaula, Alabama. And then they go to
Arkansas River. Yeah. They go
Mississippi River.
And Champlain.
And then Champlain.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a one-step process. You fish one of those qualifiers. If you finish in the top 20, you automatically qualify for the national championship, which, as Wyatt said, is in Grand Lake.
Yes.
In November?
Yep, November.
What we were told.
Mm-hmm. Probably
off the record.
Early November is what it sounds like. So
yeah. So
I just like how they made it simple. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, from what we gathered, it's not just going to be 80 guys in the national championship. 20 from each qualifier. It'll be all the other Bass Nation guys too that come up through.
So probably 20 from each qualifier.
Yeah, and it'll be all the other Bass Nation guys that come up through the way that we probably discussed just a minute ago, whatever that way is.
Didn't they say 200?
It'd be like 200 something boats.
210 boats.
Yeah, and then top 3 from the national championship get to go to the Classic. Yeah,
I mean, break it down. I mean, so first place, you get a Classic berth, you get an elite berth, and they give you the nation's best package, which I believe is a wrapped nitro
Mm-hmm.
with entries.
I think so. I mean, I think they pay your way.
Yeah. I mean, you get the boat, classic berth.
It's like the living the dream package kind of deal.
Yeah, I think they call it Nation's Best now.
Yeah.
Second and third place get a classic berth and free entries into the Opens the following season. So, and then I think the co-angler champion gets a classic berth.
Oh, nice.
And entries into the Opens.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's a true grassroots deal. Like that, there's not another thing that exists like that in any other organization, for your
and they had a good showing.
They really did. That's the first national qualifier, and there was like 160 votes. So,
and it was weird because it was during the week, which is kind of weird for a grassroots thing, but I wasn't mad at it.
No, not at all.
It was a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, half a day, Tuesday practice. So, what was it, 4.5 days, 3.5 days? It's 3.5 days.
3.5 days. Yeah, we lost a day because of weather, so we practiced 2.5 days. But yeah.
And then everybody fishes 2 days, and then they cut to the top 20, and the top 20 go out, which by then, top 20 is qualified for the championship, so everybody was in a good mood, happy.
Life is good.
Yeah, it was just everybody was happy to be there. I think they did a really good job with it.
They really did.
And that was $400 entry fee for boat or $200 for co. So we're not talking a big entry fee tournament here. Which, was reflected in the payout. You're not there to win a bunch of money, but it's the qualification.
Yeah, well, getting to the Classic is the only thing that drew me to the tournament, obviously. And, and we accomplished our goals and made the national championship over there, and now we get to go compete for a Classic spot on Grand Lake in the fall, and that's really, to me, all that matters from this whole deal. And I think that's all that matters to everybody else fishing it, so.
Yeah, no, it was cool. You cut it a little close.
Yeah. Cut it close. Had a little misfortune. On day 2.
Do you want to talk about that?
Not really.
No?
I broke down, and I've never had to put the boat on the trailer while everybody else is taking off.
I guess it's better that you broke down before takeoff.
Right.
Than like running halfway down the lake.
I would have rather gotten to my first spot and then broke down.
What if you'd have broke down halfway on the way?
That would have sucked. But I'm just saying, I'd have rather got the morning bite, broke down, and like called the tournament like, hey, I'm gonna call Shane and tell him to bring my fish in.
I'd have to look at the rules. I'm not sure if you're allowed to call me.
Oh yeah, if you call the tournament director and he gives you permission.
Yeah. If he said you can go ahead and call him.
And he would have. And I don't know. That was just me.
I know you're allowed to flag somebody down.
It was an absolute. The morning bite was somewhat crucial, and
for both of us,
I broke down, and thankfully, some guys. I've already gave them a couple of shout outs on stage, but Georgetown Marine in Georgia. Thankfully, those guys opened their doors before their hours, before the normal hours, and got me in. And
Big Joe put you in contact.
Big Joe put me in contact with, I think, Elite Sonar over there. Elite Sonar put me in contact with them. Elite Sonar is another electronics company over there around that Lake Eufaula area, and a lot
of helpful people. At 6:30 in the morning.
Early in the morning that got me in, and I've only lost a few hours of fishing time, and unfortunately it was the most crucial time. But all that matters is I snuck in the cut in 20th place. I scraped up a little limit, and got in. And, so that was good. And then the final day I moved up to 15th. So. Yeah, life is good there, man. Like it could have went a lot worse. Like I thought I might not get to fish on day 2. That's the barrel I was staring down pretty much.
Yeah, man. You had a little panic in your face there for a minute.
Little adversity.
You did it though. You did it. But I was nervous for my boy there. I was like, we drove all the way over here to get the top 20.
Yeah.
You're sitting pretty to stay. We were like 12th and 16th after day 1.
Yep.
Like we knew what we had to do to go get.
We pretty much knew like.
We just needed an hour of fishing on our start spot
in the morning, and we're gonna make the cut.
Yeah, and you lost the first hour,
and I lost it. So,
but the good news is he made it. He was sweating it though. So like weigh in, he comes in, and when you weighed in, you were in like 15th.
Yeah, I was like,
and there was like an hour left.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
And there was you had 3 bullets to dodge, right? So when you start to look to like where you got to qualify, there was 3 dudes who hadn't weighed. One of them had 17.8. The other one had 15.8. And the other one had like 14. Something, mid 14s, whatever. And So what was your 2-day total at the time?
To make it in 20th? 26 and a half.
Yeah. So like the dude that had 17 and a half, all he needed was like 9 pounds.
Yeah, like,
and so like
I'm like,
right.
yeah, I'm
well,
going
it's
home.
like I'm
going
20.
home in 21st, more than likely.
Yeah, but you somehow.
Yeah, they didn't weigh in. I mean, they just had a rough day.
Maybe they broke down.
I don't know. I didn't see anybody else there when I was taking off. I think I was the last boat out for sure.
No, man, you made it. That's all that counts, and you moved up.
Yeah, no doubt.
I moved down, but
you still had a great tournament, top 5 for Shane. It was a really good tournament for him.
Yeah, no, man. Again, it wasn't about. There really wasn't a bunch of money to be won at this one, and there wasn't any benefit of winning other than just getting more money and obviously hardware. Dang it,
hardware.
Dude, the hardware, the top 3 in the hardware. I am bummed about that.
They were pretty blue trophies.
Yeah, Adam was talking to me after the thing. He's like, "Look at this trophy, dude. This thing's bigger and nicer than the Opens one." And I was like, "It is." I was like, "Can I have it?" No, but I'm obsessed with hardware, and I didn't do that because I didn't catch them very good on the final day. But again, it was just about top 20. So there's 3 left.
Yeah, there's 3 left for any of you guys looking at. I mean, the reason we fish Eufaula obviously is because of where the other 3 are. They're kind of out of our way, and
Arkansas River's probably closer.
Yeah, but it's toilet. So
not going there.
We didn't want to go there at all. But yeah, man, it was a fun week. You know, and I'd never been there. Shane had been there before for the Open where he did it extremely well, but you know, it wasn't like that at all. I mean, we went there probably after talking to a few of the locals after the event, like the toughest time to go there. Like before they're in their true pre-spawn staging mode, they're in a very weird funk. And we experienced that, you know, and thankfully we were able to adjust pretty early on in practice and start finding some of the right stuff and really started piecing it together, you know, right there towards the end of practice. And that's why we made it, you know. So I'd love to go back. I'd love to be there like
next week.
Yeah. We barely missed it, but
it's a great fishery. It's got a lot of really good quality fish. I mean, Adam won with, what do you have?
I don't know. He had 19, 24 and some change, and 18 and some change.
Yeah.
So he caught him.
Yeah, he did good.
But even he was like, yeah, it wasn't like going down.
Wasn't lights out yet.
Yeah.
It was starting to happen, but nah, man, good event. We made it. We're in. Lots kind of happening while we were there. The first Open on Okeechobee.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Martin shattering records.
Shattered it. Yeah, he did.
We talked about having him on. I think we can get him on. He'll be here, what is that, in like 2 weeks?
For Toledo?
For the elites. Maybe we get him in the studio, or at least, you know, he'll be close. He'll have some time. We'll do something. But that was dominant.
Yeah, man. And
so he set the single-day record for largest bag in an Open with 33. And then he also set the 3-day record.
Yeah, he had over 90 pounds.
90. That's a 30-pound average.
It's ridiculous. And, you know, forward-facing sonar did play a role in that. You know, he was in perspective mode, but even outside of Scott, you know, it's basically how the guys at the top caught him.
Tucker got second.
Yeah, Tucker Smith got second. He was in the rim ditch. Talked to him at Eufaula. He actually fished that event at Eufaula.
Yeah, he was there.
He was in the rim ditch scoping.
And so was that Easton
Fothergill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so was Emil Wagner, who's doing the AFCO Bass Boot Camp deal this year. Very good fisherman, won the All-American last year, and he didn't make the cut, but he was real close.
Yeah.
Lost some fish that would have put him easily in the cut. So it's just, man, like it really is. The game is changing. From Okeechobee, like, you know, you saw Tyler Rivette win there last year scoping in the rim ditch, and you were like,
or up the river, or whatever that was.
Maybe that's a one-off deal. Who knows? But that's not the case. Like
Clearly not.
They go back, and it's kind of like even the guys on the main lake in Okeechobee, like Scott, still using, you know, obviously his knowledge of the fishery, but using perspective to really pinpoint fish, big ones.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't.
Beds.
Yeah, he was maximizing his opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean, he obviously knows like very well, knows where to go to find the big ones that are bedding.
Right.
But now his casts are precise.
Yeah. Would he have won it without perspective? Probably. But it, you know, just pinpointing.
Would he have had 90 pounds? I don't think it would have.
I don't know. I doubt it because of how efficient he was. Yeah. There's no doubt, dude. And then you know, from there you look at the Invitational on Rayburn, and that event just wrapped up, and it was an absolute slugfest. And before that event, if you would have asked me, because we were in Eufaula while this event was going on, but, during the practice period, or before the tournament, during practice period, and during the event, I would have guessed based on some things that were happening with the lake. Rayburn fluctuates a lot. Well, right now it's on the rise, and they are pulling a little water here and there. But man, it's basically like it's came up a significant amount. There's a lot of dirty water. It really sets these fish up to bite shallow. And we had a belt right before we left, and Derek and Jason won that event shallow, and a lot of guys that did well in that event were shallow. So I was expecting to see at least a couple people compete.
LeBrun.
Shallow. Yes, that is one. And it was not that way. Like, it was a straight scope fest again, and it went from me saying...
Well, hold on. Cal Lane, but he wasn't doing the shallow thing.
No, he was cranking a freaking 10XD. He had one spot that he rode out for 3 days, and thankfully he, for him, he did really well, but it was a scope fest, point blank period. Like, I had guys asking me before the event, do you think it'll be like the BPT on Toledo? And I was like, no. Rayburn and Toledo are not the same. And I was halfway wrong, because that's exactly what a lot of the guys that did well, they were doing, So
I think they were scoping a lot shallower, though, than they were on Toledo.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of them weren't, for sure. Some were in 24, 25 foot of water out here.
Yeah,
that's deep on this lake. That's deep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, I don't, a lot of negative.
Well, let's talk about the live, though. The live coverage was.
Yeah, it was people scoping.
Well, I don't even mean that. Watching people scope is not exactly the most entertaining way to watch people fish. I get it. But when they do hook an 8-pounder or 7-pounder or 6-pounder, a big one, when they're fighting the fish, it's exciting. It's exciting that moment and watch them try to land a fish, especially on light spinning tackle and stuff like that. My problem with the live coverage was the commentating itself.
Yeah.
I don't want to name names. Everybody knows who the dang commentators are for the Invitational. But I was like, several times I was watching, I turned it off because it was like, they're just dogging it. Like, this is so boring. Like, even them, the commentators, like, this is silly. This is what fishing has come to. And this ad nauseum, we have to watch people stare at their screens. And they were just really negative themselves. I was thinking, like, shouldn't you be promoting what you're commentating on? Instead, you're sitting here dogging what these guys are having to do to compete.
Well, it was really more one commentator than the other, and everybody knows who it was. He didn't do a very good job. That's all there's to it, and I hate.
He made it really hard to watch.
I hate that they got rid of Marty Stone, because he would have done he would have tried far much better job than that. And if JT was in studio, I think he would have done a better job than that. Like, I'm not taking anything away from the guy that was commentating, but at least Marty and JT are fishermen, and know fishing, and would have been able to explain just how complicated or hard or difficult what these guys are doing on their screen was. It's not like it's easy,
It's not easy.
And for him, he was basically downgrade. At one point, he made a reference to the guys fishing that invitational event. Compare them to a college level to the NFL level. And he was saying, I heard it, because he said,
I didn't hear that. What did he say?
He said, man, these guys just aren't making adjustments. They're still scoping out deep, and they haven't moved. We're just wondering, these guys are just kind of in a standstill. When are they going to make a move? And he's like, I think that's the difference. You're kind of seeing the college level versus the NFL. Like, the BPT guys would have already made a move and stuff. It's like, hold up.
Hold on.
Let's take this back for just a second here, Kat. First of all, some of the guys that are competing at the top of that event are on the BPT. Nick LeBrun, Drew Gill, Nick Hatfield.
Yeah.
Hello, they're on the BPT. Second of all, what they're doing, what you should have been saying is, hey, what they're doing, they are coming in contact with a lot of smaller fish, but the day before, these same guys that weighed in low to mid-20s, that's why they have a camera on them on day 2, they eventually run into some big ones, and that's exactly what happened. Like at the end of it, the majority of those guys that were at the college level caught them. And to me, that was just like, dude, like that's just not right. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. Like what they're doing and how they're fishing, quit making it sound like it's easy. Quit making it sound like they're stupid and that they're not adjusting, because they actually are adjusting.
Weights were great.
They are adjusting. You're just not understanding how they're adjusting. Like, you're not comprehending what they're doing. Like, as an angler, as a fisherman, watching that and hearing that, to people that, like, it's getting broadcasted across the nation to fans, you're giving them the wrong information. Like, and as an angler, I can see that. I know if it was me and they were covering me and I was fishing that way, because, you know, we know how to fish that way. And if I went back and watched that, I'd be like, who the hell is this guy
have no
talking
idea.
about? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's not cool, dude. Like,
no, he had some there. Like I said, man, I tried to watch, you know, because we had some local guys, some friends of ours that are in there, Marshall Hughes, Jaden Parrish.
Yep. Dylan Harrell did good in the event as well. He was shallow. Him and Nick did compete and have top 10. I think Dylan was right outside top 10, 11th shallow. So
Chad, I mean, we had a bunch of friends in this, so we were watching it, trying to enjoy it, see how Rayburn's doing, see how these guys are faring out there, and it was so painful.
Well, this isn't just our opinion. This is like everyone who, like, go look at social media. Like, everybody was frustrated with that, dude.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad. And then I think just whatever, I don't want to pick on the organization too hard, but let's back up to the BPT coverage or lack thereof the first 2 days.
First 2 days, yeah.
What in the world? So you want to sell the BPT as the biggest thing in bass fishing, right? It's the top level. That's the claim. MLF is better than the elites, better than everything. It's the BPT. It's the best. You go to a premier fishery where these guys are absolutely lighting up the scoreboard, and you don't have coverage the first 2 days? I don't understand that.
Well, even when they did have coverage, it was the same complaints about watching guys stare at their screen.
But that's, I mean...
But, dude, how would
make it better?
When the NPFL came out and they showed the screen,
how are they the first ones?
How is the other organizations like, yeah, we're doing that? That has got to be a must. That's the only way you can entertain people as a fan, because then, as a fan, you can actually see what they're targeting. Like, you can see it, and it's really cool, and it was entertaining, and everybody gave the NPFL props for that, you know? Like,
yeah, I expect Bass to have it, because there were some talks about Bass rolling that kind of stuff out. Like, if they don't do it this year, that's a big mistake on their part.
Should have been being done at the BPT. Should have been being done.
Yeah, if both those organizations don't step up and do that this year, that's a big mistake.
It's the only way you're going to entertain the fans, because – look, man, like, I can't sit here and deny that watching that is not the most entertaining thing in the world. Like, I was watching the Invitational there on the five, because I really didn't get to watch it. Obviously, day one. Weren't we competing day one when they were
Friday?
Yeah. So
Friday
we got to watch it
day.
a little bit, yeah. So when I got to watch it, I can't disagree with what people are commenting on social media and stuff like, hey, this is entertaining, da-da-da-da. I get it. But the comments about, like, what they're doing is not difficult, or that's just not true, dude. And if you don't believe me, go do it. Go do it.
It's
and you know, like, that's the one thing that frustrated me. Like, going back to that comment about this guy comparing these guys to the college.
Dang, I didn't hear him say
NFL
that.
level. Let me tell you something. There's several guys in that invitational event that you put them on any circuit with anybody, and it's a scoping tournament, they're in trouble. Like, those younger guys, love it or hate it, they know what they're doing. Like, Alec Morrison caught almost 14-pounder in practice, then caught another one over 11 in the tournament. Okay, like, Drew Gill won the tournament. That kid's resume speaks for itself. He scopes all around the country. You know, like, you don't want to get in an event with these guys when it comes to live scoping tournament. Whether you agree with it or not, it's just how it is. Like, it's just how it is.
Well, and if you talk to the guys at the highest level, right now, a lot of guys are making changes, and you guys are going to see this out there this year, guys that have been with companies for years that maybe they feel like doesn't have a forward-facing sonar that competes with the top one, which, I mean, I think you and I both have the same opinion on which one's top one.
Yeah.
Garmin,
yeah.
There are guys that are leaving Humminbird, Lowrance, Ray Marine, whatever they're running, and putting Garmins on their boats. And 100%. We're talking long-time veterans of the sport, been running. And
we're talking about breaking contracts.
Yeah, just because they understand, like, enough's enough. Like, all right, if we're out there having the Wild West of forward-facing sonar, I'm going to do what I can to compete.
That's how competitive these guys are. They're like, hey, I'm going to break contract to compete.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. They're like, man, I got to, because like you said, there's some talent out there that is next level with it. Mm-hmm. You know, you and I have conversations on the side all the time. We talked about Alec Morris. We talked about him several times. We're like, and these guys that have figured it out to the next level. There's
another level they're on.
There's good with it and understanding what's a bass and understanding how to throw it and understanding how to catch fish with it. And then there's guys that are now that has been out for 2-3 years that are just taking it to another level.
Right.
And know immediately what adjustments need to be made to catch fish that are not reacting to what baits they need to, whether they need to throw something that goes to the bottom, whether they need to keep something up their face. We talk about this all the time. Actually, these are conversations I feel like we never had prior to forward-facing sonar. It's like, hey, did you notice a bass wanted to feed up today? They didn't want to feed down.
Right. Based on conditions, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're operating on a pretty high level with forward-facing sonar too. And look, like I said, whether you agree with it or not, like, and I'm in the same boat. I don't know. I'm really not sure. Like, if you take it away, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings, to be honest. Because I feel like I'm gonna compete. If you take it away from other guys, it might hurt them. I totally agree with what all of you are commenting and saying, or a lot of you. Take that away and let's see how good he is. I agree. Okay, I agree. But that ain't the sport that I'm competing in.
They haven't taken it away yet.
And I'll be danged if I let somebody beat me because of that.
Yeah, I don't want to sit back and complain about it. I want to get better at it.
Yeah, no way. No way. So that's the point that I just wanted to make, like.
Do you think the Elites is going to be a big scope derby
on Toledo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Every tournament.
But, I mean, definitely the BPT plays into especially this is also, I hate that they went back to the every fish counts.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, though, bro.
I think it does, though. It makes a difference on your approach to the lake because look at Cal Lane. He's like, man, I just need 5 bites on a 10XD and I can have
but he was having that pretty dang early every day.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you're fishing a 5-fish tournament, you can approach it that way. You can say, well, I think I only need 5 big bites. I don't need to catch 60 bass for 120.
Does it open up your shallow guys to fish the way they want to for only 5 bites and not have to worry about competing with offshore guys catching 100 today? 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the BPT guys were also their best 5. The guys scoping would have been pretty dang impressive. So
yeah, for every day of the tournament.
I can just go ahead and tell you 9 Elite Series tournaments. And I don't even remember where all they're going. Forward-facing sonar played a role in every single one. I don't even know where all the invitationals are going the rest of the year. Forward-facing sonar played a role in every one. Like, I don't care. I don't care where they go anymore, dude.
It's in.
You better go to the Chaffalay River Basin or the Sabine for me to take.
They're still gonna scope stumps or something.
For me to take away that. But it's just how it is, dude. Am I saying that you can't win without it? No, you can win without it. Derek and Jason just did it.
Yeah, matter of fact, I was just watching a little clip on Bass U.
Yeah, right.
About them.
Right.
This team wins.
Maybe they didn't use it. I don't know. I can't believe half the things those two say. So they might have been using it, and they're just telling everybody that. I don't know. You can't really believe them two, but
I mean, they got it.
They got it. They got more than one.
Whose boat were they fishing out of? Derek's, right?
I really don't know.
I think it was Derek's. But Derek's got 360 on his.
No.
He got rid of it. He's got forward and perspective.
We're just gonna say that we don't know. They caught him shallow. I think
we don't know.
That's what they said.
Again,
that's what they said. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is these couple of days.
Should we call him?
Who?
Either one.
Derek. He'll probably answer. All I'm gonna say is these past couple of days.
My bad.
It's been the hard because I don't comment on social media stuff because if I do, I'll get fired up.
You get fired up now.
Yeah, but this is our platform, so I get to get fired up.
Oh.
So
all right.
this is what I'm saying. I've been wanting to talk about this all week because it is frustrating. Because the people that are the loudest on social media, they don't know what they're talking about. Like,
you're gonna stir up the mob, dude. The mob's gonna cancel the juice.
No, it's true. These guys that watch, they know it's true. There is times where people speak up on social media and they are 100% right. Like, they nail it, and you're like, and usually that's the guy that doesn't talk a whole lot, but when he does, he's like, oh, I'm gonna listen. Like, hey, this guy doesn't comment a whole lot, or he doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does, I'm gonna listen. And just to listen, like, that commentator, dude,
it was bad, man. You can't. He lacked professionalism big time on that.
That was bad, dude.
It was really
maybe I
bad.
shouldn't have said social media. More like, I'm talking about the live coverage stuff, like feeding people just misinformation, just not cool, dude.
Yeah, I was actually, even though it was one, forward-face sonar, and I was actually impressed with what he was doing. It's cool to watch how these guys do different things. Yeah. I mean, he was throwing Nico rig.
Yeah, well, I think he mixed it up all throughout the tournament. Yes, that's final days.
But I mean, that's not something that everybody always does, and it's not an easy technique to throw.
Especially when it's blowing mock freaking Jesus on the final day.
Yeah, mud line shifting. But on a positive note, how about our boy Marshall Hughes dropping a mega bag?
I texted him after day 2, and I said, "You're crazy." I did. I said, "You're crazy.
You crazy."
I said, "You're crazy, dog. Go win it." He just laughed at it and he said, "Thank you."
Dude, he seems so calm. Like you and I were both talking on the phone, waiting for weigh-in to start. I was about to hit no service on that little stretch between Toledo and Rayburn coming home from Bama, and I was like, "No, I want to watch him weigh in." He was like just calm.
Yeah, weighing
like
in 38 and a half.
38 pounds, 7 ounces with an 11.2 or something like that.
It was insane, man. I mean, that's a freaking dream bag. And to be honest, any other tournament at any other time, he probably would have blew it out. But
yeah, man, if there was a name, though, on that list to catch a bag like that, he would have been my pick probably.
Yeah, I'd have put him and Dakota up there. If they just said, hey, a 38-pound bag is getting weighed in, I'd be like, well,
him or Dakota.
Marshall, Dakota, or freaking Alec Morrison.
Yeah. Yeah, but I could see, Marshall and Dakota know how to find the stuff that's not. And that's not scope and fish. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I don't think that was scope and fish.
Sounded like he caught him on a jig.
I mean, he said he saw him come into the screen, but yeah, that was cool to watch him jack a 6-pounder on the final of that on a football jig. I wish they would have had some sort of coverage of that 38 pounds, but yeah, we were talking. We're like, it says he's got 32. Is that right? And then like 5 minutes later, it says 38, and we're like, or 37. I was like, what?
The only reason I even questioned it is because when I fished the Invitational last year, some people's scales went haywire and were like doing double entries.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing I don't like about their live coverage. All right, so it's Bass Track, whatever you want. What does MLF call it?
Score? No, that's
live
DVD.
leaderboard. Unofficial leaderboard is what they call it.
Yeah.
Bass is called Bass Track, MLF unofficial leaderboard.
Scoreboard.
The scales are linked to y'all's phone, right?
Yeah.
And then when you weigh the fish, it gives an accurate reading, fairly accurate. Obviously, they were a little heavier at scales, but so you kind of have a pretty good idea what they're going to weigh. You can't trick it. Like when I put in fish on Bass Track in the opens or this nation event, I'm light. I'm usually going to be a couple pounds light. Because I don't want to be the guy that says I got 18 and come in with 17. That's embarrassing. And you want to leave a little. Hey.
Yeah, the only thing about it is that like that last hour or so, you don't know.
They cut it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that last hour doesn't matter. A lot of people catch their weight first thing in the morning. You already know, like, oh.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, I'm just saying, like me at the Potomac, I left. Like when they turned off live coverage, it said I have 14-something.
I like a little mystery is all I'm saying.
No, I agree, but I mean, it's not that way. No, it's pretty accurate.
See, like Poche didn't even put in.
No, because he ain't going to take the time to do it. He don't care.
But that was way cool. Nobody had a clue he was about to come drop 23 pounds on the final day.
Speaking of which, Poche scoped that tournament.
Yeah, he did.
He scoped it with a bait caster, heavier line, and a shaky head.
That's what he said.
Oh, I watched him do it on live. I mean, he ain't lying. I watched him.
He was on live on day 1?
Day 2, he caught a 7 on live.
Oh, okay. It was on day 2.
And he literally catches – this is just awesome to me, dude. Because he catches the fish, so he's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, that just speaks volumes. Like, we're talking about Keith Poche. After day 1, when they didn't have a camera with him, I was like, well, Keith's catching him in the dirt somewhere. I even told you, I was like,
yeah.
Oh, Keith catching him in the dirt somewhere.
run the gator tracks all the way up the dang river.
That's not what he's doing at all, bro. He's scoping with a shaky it.
Scoping.
And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
What did he finish? Did he finish like 5th or something?
Yeah.
Damn.
In a slugfest, in a scope fest. Dude.
No, he caught him.
He caught them.
Caught him really well.
Yeah.
Scoping.
On a freaking bait caster and heavy line.
Poche's turning all his spinner baits. He's going to become no more frogging.
That was really cool to like see him. Because he was like excited about it. You could see it was like he was like a kid, dude. He was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is awesome.
But I mean, that just goes back to fishing. Anytime, like if you look back at your history, your life of fishing, when you learn a new technique and you caught it,
really
it's exciting.
Really exciting.
Whether that's frogging, cranking, flipping, whatever. When you tried a new technique and caught them, it's fun. You want to go do it again. I mean, I do anyway. I like learning as much as I can. I like fishing, trying to be as versatile as I can. Even though it seems like it's going away a little bit. But still, these fish are going to adapt. The fisheries are going to adapt, and so are the anglers. They're going to have to. It's not going to be as simple as throwing a ball head with some sort of Japanese split tail on there and twitching the crap out of it.
Yeah.
But what else do we got going on? Well, while we're on the topic of forward-facing sonar, we were just talking about before we started recording this episode, the Alabama Bass Council, Wheeler King dude, he was saying something about some new tournament. What was it on? I looked it up. I Googled it.
Yeah.
Touring Anglers Association.
Yeah,
never heard of it.
This is something I don't really know much about. So
touringanglersassociation.com. And he said on there, he said $300,000 payout, no forward-facing sonar, no 360 allowed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Just tell them the website, that way they can look at it.
Yeah, Touring Anglers Association. Bottom line is it's on here. $300,000 first prize. Looks like they're looking for a minimum of 200 anglers, so they won't have the term if they don't get 200.
$300,000 for first.
$300,000 first. $5,000 entry fee.
Single event.
Individual event. 13,000 down to 40. I mean, the payout's pretty.
The payout's pretty nuts. They're paying $13,000 down to 40th. They're paying $25,000 to 12th.
Where are they going to get 200 dudes to pay $5,000?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Without the technology,
there's some crazy stuff going on. I don't know anything about it, so I can't tell you much. I'm just saying, go check it out. I guess. I don't.
They're
really
saying
know.
Lake Lanier, April. Oh, whoa! You get 1 day to ride around.
Yeah. Not even that long.
You get an afternoon.
1 to 5.
You get an afternoon.
1 to 5. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't get to fish, right?
It's a ride around for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah. And you can't come to the lake with any waypoints. You have to be a clean waypoints, and the only waypoints you can have is when you're out there marking.
Insane. No way this goes anywhere.
We're gonna find out. No scope, no 360.
And that's not why I just don't think you can. I don't think you're going to find 200 dudes to do that. You want to go fish it?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to go to Lanier for 3 hours. And
this is 3 to 4.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to go to idle on Lake Lanier for 3 to 4 hours and then go fish. Like to have to put up $5,000. I would go do it for fun, but I ain't gonna put up $5,000 and do it. That's nuts, dude.
Not gonna find 200 dudes. Yeah, I think. I see where they're trying to do what they're trying to do, but they got a lot of things wrong. Still.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll prove us wrong. They'll get 200.
Yeah. How about y'all just come fish the freaking Brandon Belts?
Yes.
I mean, gosh dang it, dude. We're paying out like real money over here.
I mean, we are not paying out nothing.
Brandon's paying out real money, and you ain't got to pay $5,000 to do it. I mean, this is for real, dude. If y'all haven't listened to our last podcast with Brandon, y'all need to go listen to it. We're fixing to freaking head out to Lake Conroe here real quick. It's a toilet.
That's next week. It's not a toilet.
It's a toilet right now. Yeah, it's came up. People's boat docks are
muddy. But what did we just hear? That 34 won on Saturday?
Yeah, something light.
But there was another tournament only took 21 or something.
34 won, but it ain't no 38.
It's got megas, dude. It's got big ones.
No, we're gonna go over there. Yeah, we got. Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. We got the belt coming up on Conroe, and
then the Grand Slam's right around the corner.
Yeah, we might want to register for that before we get booted.
Yeah. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Why do I got to do everything?
You need to.
It's always me. I got to do everything. I registered last night. He texted me. He could have registered us. He said, hey, tonight's the last night to register for the free entry drawing. Oh, are you not capable of doing that?
Well, I ain't got enough money to my name to do it.
What? What do you mean?
I ain't got enough money.
Just cut a fat nation check.
Yeah, that nation check literally just paid for the event. So appreciate you.
Well, I mean, you're going to the Natty.
That's true. Not a far drive, they said.
Hey, should we? Anybody Grant? Oh, I know where we can stay at Grant.
Grant is 8 hours, by the way. I looked it up.
Yeah. I know where we can stay at Grant.
Where's that?
We'll stay at. Well, I say that he might tell me no. He's offered before. John Beckwith, owner of Falcon Rods, super nice guy. But his place is down in the south end.
Just going back to, because I'm assuming we're wrapping up the show here. Just going back to just talking about the whole social media announcer thing. The only reason I just want to bring it, like, do you not agree with what I'm saying? How that's not frustrating or that's unfair to the anglers to make a comment like that?
It was trash. The commentating was trash.
What do you think about that comment? Comparing these guys to,
I don't like it. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it.
You don't like it?
No, that's shut up. That's all I gotta say.
That's pretty bad, dude.
You can't say it. You cannot be in that position. That's out.
I just feel like I feel like they should hire me to take that guy's job.
I feel like any day we're gonna get a call. They're gonna
mean?
be like, "Hey, listen, we need you guys to be the commentators."
Well, we
for
should.
The Invitationals.
We would do a hell of a lot better than that.
I mean, they got the flowy-haired dude with the radio voice, who knows.
Yeah, he's
nothing.
Good. I think he's good for what he does.
He's a professional.
Sounds good. Yes.
You know what I mean? He kind of like leads the other guy into talking, and but the dog, you cannot talk negatively about your talent. Your guys that are out there, the guys that chose to fish with your organization, you're representative of this organization, and you chose to take on this job to commentate for these guys that have signed up to fish this platform, and to have any kind of
paid a lot of money to fish on
negative connotation towards the anglers on how they're choosing to fish and saying what they're doing is not. I mean, get out of here. Next. You're fired.
You're fired, dude.
You're fired.
We're probably gonna get some crap for
dude. You woke up the mob. Like, there's gonna be some hate on this one.
About what?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. Keyboard warriors coming in hot.
I'm just saying the truth. It ain't.
No, I did. Yeah, the commentating was trash. I think I told you several times, like, dude, I can't. I listened to it, and he started talking, and I shut it off for a minute, and then I was like, well, let me see let me look at the weights, because I want to watch it. I enjoy the sport. I want to watch fishing. I like the sport. I mean, yes, it's kind of boring sometimes.
Yes, and I did. That's why I wanted to make sure that I said that. I was like, is it more entertaining to watch somebody go freaking flip bushes or catch them on a frog or something? Absolutely. I'm just saying.
Well, let's take Cal Lane slinging the crankbait. I mean,
that's pretty cool.
I watched him sling it 30 times without catching a fish.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wasn't looking down. He was looking out, but he wasn't doing anything other than chunking and winding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting to watch people catch big ones. So, I don't know. I mean, but 100%, they need to step up and get that coverage. Matter of fact, when you were talking about that, I had a thought. So, my co-angler day one, super nice guy, or day two, I should say. He was really interested in what I was doing, because he's like asking me about, like, what are you fishing? Why are you doing this? He was trying to learn, which is, as a co-angler, that's probably the best thing you should be doing, right?
Yep.
If you can. And so I said, here, let me turn on my Garmin on the back so you can see what I'm looking at. So I put my back unit so he could see what I'm seeing up there, because he kept saying, like, oh, man, there's a big one. There's a big one. He's like, how do you know it's a big one? How do you know it's looking at your bait? Like, how do you know all this? Because he'd never experienced it. And so he told me the other day, he's like, man, that's like, and he wasn't the one catching them. I was catching them, and he was like, that was one of the coolest days. Watching you look at what you were looking at and you telling me what you're looking at, he said that was super entertaining. So if you take the best in the world and you let them articulate what they're seeing on and maybe we need a little training on that. Maybe they need a little, like, hey, guys, look, ratings are a little down. People are not liking the forward. So when we're on you and we're showing your screen,
You need to be talking about it.
You need to be articulating what you're looking at, what you're doing, why you're doing it.
Most bass fishermen have a problem with that because they want to make themselves sound more intelligent.
It's that we're using the platform, the opportunity to grow our own platform. So, or whatever, following. But I hope they do it, man. I think Bass is doing it. I think Bass is going to roll it out.
We're going to find out here real shortly.
Watch somebody catch a double digit on scope.
It's coming very shortly. At Toledo Bend.
Who's going to win Toledo Bend?
Dang.
I already see the head. I already see the name in your head.
I'm going to go, there's probably some guys I'd like to win, but.
Well, I mean, you can say both if you want.
I think, damn, there's a lot of good guys.
I think old Millie Vanilli is going to back-to-back it.
Milliken?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would actually be up there. I like Caillou Fujita.
Ooh.
I like Ben, and I like Keith Combs. That's who I'm rolling with. Is Patrick Walters fishing it?
Yeah.
I'm rolling. I'll add him on the fantasy team too.
I didn't even. Should we create? Hold on a minute while we're on the fantasy thing.
Can I create a scope team and then like a non-scope team?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But everybody's gonna be scoping, including Dr. Combs. So, should we create a fantasy team?
No.
You don't fantasy fish. You're not a fantasy fisherman. I do. I enjoy it.
Really?
You're just afraid you're gonna get dominated.
No, I mean,
I think the Juice should have a.
Oh, like where everybody can play?
Yeah, like people can join our and
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I think I'm gonna do it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, people would probably they'd like that.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. We'll let you know in the next episode. We'll probably try to get this episode up tomorrow, and then I think we need to record another one with somebody.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say real quick, I think that MLF archives the live coverage on their website. So if y'all want to know what we're talking about on the coverage stuff, go back and watch that. You'll see what we're talking about.
Yep. Sorry we don't have any super entertaining guests. This was just more kind of catching up on what we've been up to and wanted to go on a rant.
Not really a rant, just,
expressing our feelings.
It's kind of a rant, but
a little bit.
At least I'm not doing it on social media. Like, typing it. Kind of, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we took the time to record it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, how long was this episode?
48 minutes.
Perfect. All right, guys, let us know who y'all want to see on. We're gonna have some guys.
Yeah, we got a list of guests. We're just trying to figure out who we're gonna have next. Big grand opening, Tackle Addict next week.
Yep, I'll be there.
We talked about Travis Hunter. We might be able to have him on later on this week.
Yep.
That could be cool.
I'll be at the grand opening working for AFCO.
Should we do a live there?
Yeah, we'll do a live.
No, you can't say we will if we're not going to.
Probably gonna do a live, so. Catch y'all there. Till next time.